What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
It is I, Greg Gray. I'm back, y'all. What's up? Again, it's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start out by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, welcome to the show. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week, each and every day that we're on, giving us that love, giving us the energy that we need to get this show going. We appreciate you guys. So last week we were in Vegas. Las Vegas with the B, Las Vegas, and we celebrated some fantastic authors. All right, a lot of emotion was showed there, a lot of love was just shown in the room. Okay, GI was heavy up in that joint. All right, but today and all this week we're celebrating these award-winning authors. We just want to hear some of their stories, how they got to this, where they've been, where they're going. You know, we just want to celebrate these guys, okay? Because you know, it's being an author is not an easy task. You know, I don't know anything about it. People have told me, Greg, write your story. I said, no, because I'm not gonna do it. You want to write it for me? Cool. Me doing it? Not gonna happen. All right. So these are people that have made it happen. They have made this a life calling. They've done the thing. All right. So let's get started, all right? Let's go ahead and introduce what the hell? What's going on,
What's
girl?
up, big bro? What's up?
I'm chilling. Hey, Mo, she got the.
Hey,
I think she got the rickets, Mo.
What kind of body karate? What kind of body karate was that?
He said body karate.
Hey, Mo, mind your business. That's what she old, dude. What's going on, Marcel?
I'm trying.
Hey,
That's what I'm trying to find out. What's going on? What in the world?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm still up here, y'all. I'm still up here.
All right. Amen. Bless God.
Keep that energy, all right? We got some great authors here. Tonight, we're going to talk to these guys and find out their story, their backstory, and how they felt getting recognized, getting the award for best author in their particular genres, okay? We got three of the authors here tonight, okay? We got Lisa Bennett with us. We got Undra Ware, and we got Natalie Crybaby. Let me stop. Matter of fact, what's up, Crybaby?
Nat. What's happening, Nat?
Yeah, leave her on mute.
Come on,
Don't let him
to
pick on you. Get off of mute, Nat.
Hey, everybody, but Greg.
She said, but Greg.
Wow.
Okay, Natalie, thank you for coming to the show. We appreciate you, sweetheart.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We got Mr. Andre Ware.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's happening, Andre?
What's going on?
Good seeing y'all.
Yes, sir. My great friend.
Hey, Andre.
Miss Lisa.
Lisa.
You're on mute, Lisa. You're on mute. See, I'm gonna give her that courtesy. All right.
See that?
I was on mute on purpose. I didn't want to come in making a whole lot of noise.
So you always making
a lot of noise, Lisa. You can't help it.
She may
I
get
make
all
the effort at least.
even if she ain't trying.
Even when she not trying.
But I'm not the only one that look.
All right, y'all. Leave Natalie alone.
I'm just saying, welcome to the show, guys. Okay, we appreciate you guys. We're
All right,
talking
Chris. I got you, Chris. That's one of my best friends in the world, but I got her.
We're talking to award-winning authors now. They're not just regular authors. These are award-winning authors.
Yes,
award winners.
They got clout. All right. So they can walk in any place right now, show the award, and they'll let them in. You know, ball games. I'm just saying. Again, welcome to the show. We know that it was a great moment down there in Las Vegas, and there was a lot of love shown. Okay, how was it being with a bunch of your peers, a bunch of people that write just like you? Let's start off with you, Andre.
Man, it felt great. Just the fact that I was around my own peers, everybody doing what I do, right? And I realized everybody have a story. That's what I really enjoyed, learning about everybody's story, and I felt I belong. I felt like I belonged for a change, and that felt good. It really felt good.
Yeah, that's a good thing, feeling like you belong. What about you, Lisa?
You know, it was so surreal for me because this was my first book, my first attempt to writing something like this. And so it was just a lot of love. And ever since I got hooked up with Gina and this group of folks, it's just been all positive love. And so I was just overwhelmed. And Greg, you said something award winning. I had an interview with someone in Las Vegas on Saturday, and then she asked me, she says, so tell us a little about yourself. And I said, I am an award-winning author.
That's right.
And it hit me. And oh my gosh. You know, and for me it was double whammy because I got hit twice last week. You know, I had won the Sisters with Superpowers honor thing for Rolling Out magazine, and then flew to Las Vegas, and you know, I was fine until my name got called, and then I wasn't fine no more. And I was like, what just happened?
And see, these were three. I wish I had got those videos together earlier. Okay, these were three authors who showed their emotion. Okay, which I'm telling you, once they started showing emotion, everybody started emotion. How was it for you, Natalie?
It was like Lisa said, it was surreal. It was such an amazing feeling. We've been in contact as authors on Gina's been contacting us throughout the year since we submitted our books, but we got to be in a room with each other and got to finally put faces to the names. And it was just an incredible feeling. I'm like Gina, I'm still floating high. Got my shirt on.
Okay. I know that's right. That's
wait a minute. You got bookends back behind you. You got two of them?
Yeah, she probably got 3-4 of them. She's on a little delay.
Yes, I won last year.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
nice.
Nat is a two-time winner.
Bookends behind you.
Yeah, she's on a little delay, so we gotta compensate for that delay. Okay, but yeah, that, you know, it was just a whole room of love. I've been to plenty of award shows, and this was one of those shows where you could actually feel the energy in the room. You could actually feel the energy in the room, and I think that the next time it comes up, hopefully, you guys are coming. It's going to be even bigger and better. All right. You know, we had performances there. And it was just a beautiful thing. I wish I could play the entire show right now, but I can't. All right. Now, I got to be honest. I was trying to download everybody that's on here's reactions when they got their video. I did have one of them that I did get. Okay. Do y'all mind if I showed that right now?
Okay. We don't
Depends on who it is.
Your hair down and trying to hide.
It's cool.
Do you, Greg?
Y'all ready to go to church? Come on, let's go.
I'm just saying.
Let's do this.
It was. Let me make sure I got it first, okay? Because you know me.
Greg about to clown us.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to clown anybody. I just want to make sure that you guys are seeing it in the proper. Gina, go ahead and ask a question while I cue this up. All right.
Okay, I'm just glad it's not me. You know what? I just want to know what were you feeling in that room? Let's start with you, Andre. What exactly were your emotions in that room? You guys came with your family, your friends. You had so much love. You had people coming from other states. Just explain. I just want to know.
When I walked in the room and I saw the red carpet, I saw the ambiance of everything, and I was like, this is for real. This is no joke. So then I was looking at my wife, she's beautiful. I'm looking at all the authors, they beautiful. And I'm like, this is real. I'm a part of an elite club now. So I'm
All
like, you
right.
know what? I'm glad I arrived.
And
Other than that, and what really got me, I'm going to talk about the award. When I got the award, when they actually said the purpose of being Undra Ware, I was stunned. And then I was like, wow, this really happened. So I'm walking up and I'm looking at the crowd, and all these emotions start coming through because I was like, wow, man, they really accepted me. So then I'm looking at the prompt and I'm like, I can't read the prompt. So I'm like, I'm going to have to free flow it. And I'm just talking, and then I got emotional. Then I had to grab myself again, and I'm looking at everybody. It was just a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, like I said, a sense of belonging. And for me, coming from the streets of Chicago and always been not really accepted, and just to go somewhere and find my niche.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you, God.
oh
You know,
my
it was a
God,
good feeling.
that is awesome.
Really.
What about you, Natalie?
It was amazing for me because again, this was my second one, and it still felt like it was the first one. But it was being my second one, it let me know for sure that it's in a fluke. I actually did this thing, and having my family there was absolutely incredible. I love that they were all there, and I feel like I'm starting to get emotional again.
My Lord.
But it was awesome.
All right.
It was
All right.
awesome.
Greg will cry with
Greg.
We'll cry together.
This ain't no OJ song. Get up out of here.
Thank you.
Get up out of here with that. Lisa, what about you? You know what, Lisa? Before you say anything, I got you. We're going to see exactly how Lisa felt.
You do it on 57.
Come on, baby.
We're going to definitely see how Lisa felt. Y'all give me a moment here, right? This is Lisa Bennett when she got her award.
Let's go to church.
Y'all check this out.
Next category, inspiration, motivational. The nominees are
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
And the winner is Just Keep Living Conversations.
Hold on. The moments are coming right now.
That was my other half screaming.
I hear you.
Apparently, we submitted some speeches and some acceptance things, and I know I'm supposed to read that. So I do first, let me just say this. Thank you for the Distinguished Authors Guild and for this whole discussion. This has been a crazy journey But give just a quick snippet. This book was not supposed to be a book. This was my therapy notes. My mother died, my whole world fell apart. I tried to commit suicide, my grandmother saved my life. So to stand here today, let me thank you guys, thank my wife, and all of my people back, my friends back there. Can I say what I really want to say?
Say it, Lisa.
Hallelujah.
My grandmother walked into that emergency room. She said, "What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? God's got something for you. You cannot cut off his journey. You just keep living." So I'm just telling you, no matter how dark it gets, know that God's got you. He didn't create you to fail. Hold on, and it's gonna be all right. Let's go.
All right.
Yes. Gregory, you in trouble, Gregory.
No, you ain't. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
I already know. You're gonna have to find me on one of them planes, though. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of energy.
Because you travel more than I do. Okay, but Lisa, how was that for you?
You know, so I try to remember that it's really not about me. And so a lot of times, because I'm also a bit of a theologian, not a bit of a theologian, I'm a theologian with the seminary. I every time I'm approaching anything, God hide me behind the cross. This ain't I'm simply the tool or the vessel put out front to carry your will, your message forward. I don't remember half the time what I say, what I do. All I can tell you is there's such joy. We have a Garyite, Ferris Evans Jr. He wrote this song for Yolanda Adams called "This Joy That I Have." The world didn't give it to me. You know, it's such joy and it's such a swelling inside that I can't explain it. And all I know to do is to scream and holler to get it out. What old folks would say, you know, praise God, because the devil don't understand what you're saying when you're just screaming and hollering, right? So he can't get none of that. And that's just what I feel. I feel like, you know, don't ever get so big-headed that you think this is about you. It ain't about you. You just simply, it's like you the tool in the garden God is using to till the grass. So you mind your space and you stay in your place and you just make sure he gets all the glory. And so that's all I'm thinking. And so that's why I'm surprised and shocked every time. My wife says, "You always look like you out of it." I am. I don't know what's going on. I'm just for the ride. Okay, because I'm not in charge of anything that's happening.
But see, you know, you guys, and I think that you guys aren't aware that you guys have done so much to, number one, write this book. You've gone through a journey to write these books, all right? But number two, you're creating an atmosphere for others to step outside of themselves as well, all right? And you guys have done that so courageously. I'd like to ask you guys, though, Andre, starting with you, what was your journey to get to this level, to get to this point? What was your journey? What did you go through? How did you start writing?
Well, it started in high school, actually, when my parents got divorced, and I was, it was depressing. It was heavy on me. And I was a teenager. I was pretty much like 14 years old. I wasn't really expressive. I always held things in. So when I get depressed or when I get angry, I would just go and write. And that's how I expressed myself. But I never really shared it with anyone. And then I became angry after the divorce. Then when I got in high school, just being around my certain peers, it's like I couldn't fit in, or I didn't fit in. You know, I wasn't athletic. I was always a thinker. And since I was always a thinker, it seemed like nobody could really understand me. So I would just kind of stay to myself and just continue to write. And then when I started working for CTA, and I did my first poem called The Strength, that was my first public reading. And I noticed how people were giving me feedback. And again, I was continually writing. Once again, just staying inward, not really communicating. Then I started working with the state. And when I got fired from the state, I was depressed and I was pretty much suicidal. And that's when God, and I was like, what I'm going to do now that I don't have this job, what do I supposed to do? And I'll show you how God worked. I went in the closet, I poured out all my work, and I accumulated 2 books. And God was like, this is what I wanted you to do. What I did was I started organizing everything. The first book, The Purpose of Being, I was like, okay, what title? It was just positive poems that I was written over the course of the years. Had no idea that's what I was doing. And I was like, okay, so what do I supposed to be doing with this? And God was like, I want you to work on this and get this out to the people. Not knowing that it was going to benefit anybody. And I was reading some of my work, and it was inspirational, motivational. Some of it was painful because it's hard for me to be vulnerable. And I've learned over the years, it's okay, open up. Because just like I'm hurting, somebody else could be hurting. And that's when I made up my mind to stay focused and publish these books. And this is where I'm at today.
Marcel, you sound like you want to say. You look like you want to say something.
Who?
Marcel.
Not yet.
She said not yet. She waiting on some juicy part. Natalie, what about you?
Well, I've always been a writer. My mom told me when I was a teenager that I should go to college for journalism because I liked writing. I was writing poetry, and I was also interested in photography. So I thought about doing photojournalism, but at the time when photography was film, it was very expensive, and I was only in college on a promise and a prayer, so we couldn't afford all the equipment that I needed for photography. And just some kind of way, I just got away from it, and life just took over. I ended up working in childcare for like over 20 years, which I absolutely loved. I love the little kids. But when the pandemic hit, is when I got back to writing. And I was laying in the bed one morning, and this story came to me, and I thought, "Wow, I like that." And I heard God's voice clear as day say, "Write the story." I said, "Nope." I don't know why I thought I was going to win that fight, but and for about 3 weeks, I would wake up every morning with more and more of the story developing. And I finally said, "Okay, Lord, if this is you, you're going to have to help me with this because I don't know how to type. I peck." So I went down to the computer and I sat down and the story flowed. And I let one of my best friends read it, and she loved it and she encouraged me. I let my mom and my sister read it, and they loved it. So I went publishing the story. But then I was like, well, how do I get it published? I don't think about publishing. I don't know any publishers. I started looking it up and researching because I love to research. So I started looking up the information for publishers and didn't like what I was finding in terms of how long it takes to go the traditional way, how much it costs, the lack of control you have over your own stuff. So then I started researching self-publishing. And I said, whoa, I can do this. And I did. And another good friend of mine, Karen Day, told me about D.A.G. And I entered my first book. Then came you, and it won last year. Blew me away just as much as winning this year for September to summer break.
Okay, real good, real good. And Lisa, you know, we saw some of your story, but tell us the piece of the story. Don't tell too much because you know you still got to come back on the show for your for the interview itself.
So, and you know, we got plenty to talk about on the other interview. That's no problem. But you know, this unlike the other two folks here, writing was not. I mean, I'm a decent writer. I did well in school, if you want to look at that in terms of writing, and I was a broadcast major as an undergrad, but career-wise, I'm a business process management change enablement consultant, professional. I go into companies when they are changing directions, they're pivoting differently, whether it's from a strategic perspective or a workforce perspective or a training perspective, and then I get them aligned to what their future vision is. So this was not on my radar, not at all. It was, God has a way of bringing you where He needs you to be, right? And
Right.
so I have this mantra, Lord, I want the path of least resistance to what I desire. Sometimes that's the bumpy ride, though. We desire things and we know we want certain outcomes, but we're not sure exactly how God's going to get us there. But anyway, much like everybody else, when you're a kid, you dream about, when I grow up, I'm going to achieve all these things and do all of this stuff. And I got, I got that job north of $500,000. I got the boat. I got the vacations. I got the 5 houses. I got the 8 cars. I had all this stuff. And I retired my mom and I paid off her bills and we were traveling and doing our thing. And she died.
Mm.
And I wasn't ready for that. I have always been blessed that my family has had 5 or more generations. I grew up with my great grandparents. They didn't die till I was in my 30s. So I'm used to having people around well until they're 100 years old. And here's the other thing. I was at an organization. I was consultant. I was a consultant with the largest consulting firm in this country, and I was the only African American female client facing in my entire practice. There was a lot of pressure on me to perform on the job as well as in life in general. But I got all this stuff done and I was like, oh, okay, me and my mom, we about to get out and do this thing. And we did it. We did it for a few years. And then all of a sudden, she was gone. And I could not rationalize it. I could not stop the pain. I just couldn't. And so I just said, you know what? I'm done with this. I had moved from New York at the time, moved from New York to Indiana to be closer to my mother when I found out she was sick, but I did not expect her to die. I had kids in college. I mean, just a lot of stuff going on, several mortgages, all this kind of stuff. And then she got plucked out of the center of my universe and I just couldn't keep up. I didn't want to keep up. I didn't care. So long story short, I decide I'm allergic to shellfish, and I decided to eat 2 pounds of shellfish. And I turned off the light and went in my room. I waited till my wife was out of town, and I knew that I didn't calculate that anybody would. My nephew happened to be here, and he walks in the room and turns on the light. And all I remember, the next light I remember was coming to consciousness in the emergency room. I mean, I was just waiting. I didn't care. And so when I was trying to recover, I ended up with a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I was on all kinds of drugs, trying to make me sleep, turn off my brain because I had lost weight. All kinds of stuff I was just massively depressed and grieving. And it's hard to grieve when you are the person who takes care of everything too in your family, right? And so I had the pressures of work, the pressures of 4 children. 2 of them were in college and the other 2 were on their way. So just a lot going on. And I just want to check out. I don't want to be bothered with none of this no more. And I don't care because the most important person in the world to me, I love my kids and my wife, but it's my mama and I'm out. And so, like I said, I tried to end it and my nephew found me. And I was laying in the hospital room and my grandmother came in and gave me her whole speech about why I had to keep living. But then let me fast forward. My grandmother, that was in 2016. And then my grandmother got sick in February 2019, and I stayed in the hospital with her every night. And so I was in the therapy, and they got me on the drugs, and I started doing better, but I didn't go back to work because I just knew I couldn't handle all the pressure. And then my grandmother dies in May of 2019 after we'd been in the hospital since February. And I slept there pretty much every night and count probably not more than 4 nights I was out of the hospital. And then she died, and I started slipping right back down. And I wanted to go again. And then the therapist said, I need you to just journal. And I was like, I don't, excuse my French, no, I want to write about. I don't want to be here. I'm trying to find another exit strategy. And she said, just journal for me, just whatever comes to mind. And as I journaled about my grandmother, I just started laughing about some of the silly antics and some of the conversations we had had. And before I knew it, I had this compilation of just stories or exchanges between us. And then my cousins and different people would read a piece of them. They was like, you need to write a book. You need to write a book because I'm laughing and you need to write a book. And so I was resistant. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was resistant up until the doggone book came out. I met a woman, and I don't know if you guys have a copy of the book. On the very front of it, it says it's endorsed by the former CEO of Burberry, whom I met her at a conference while I was depressed because my wife sent me away for a couple weeks. And just by chance meeting, what are the chances of meeting the CEO of Burberry and the former CEO of former senior vice president of Apple? And her father had just died. And we just talked about that and walked away from the conversation. So once I wrote the book and I was doing research about how you get a book to get legs and to go forth in the market, I reached out to her and she said, "Hey, I remember you. I'd love to read the book." She endorsed it, and here we are. But I still didn't believe in it. And she kept saying, "You need to believe in it. This is a good book. This is good. It's for all generations, etc." And here we are. I was resistant up to the very last moment. And what I think turned it around for me was a young lady in Las Vegas got the book when it was early released. I had met her because we were looking for a house in Las Vegas. And she said, "Thank you for sharing your grandmother with the world." She said, "My father died a couple months ago." And there's a story in the book where my grandmother talks to me about continuing my relationship with my mother after death, because she said, "You mad that you can't talk to your mother, but you made up your own rules, and now you pissed off at the rest of the world when nobody told you that you couldn't continue your relationship." And so that story's in the book. And the young lady said to me, I was so sad because I thought my relationship with my father was over, but your grandmother, through that story with you, taught me how to continue my relationship, and I feel free. And after I got like 7 or 8 reviews back from people saying that, I was like, okay, maybe again, it's not for me, it's for somebody else, right? And so I just trying to get out of God's way and let him do what he gonna do.
And now she hobnobbing with all these stars and quasars.
Started church in Las Vegas.
These are all compelling stories. These are great stories.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. It ain't in me. I can't do it. I can't do it. Marcella, you want to say something? You can say it without
your microphone.
You said you can't do it. If you listen to their stories, they didn't think they could do it either. And there's a pattern
stay in my lane.
Amongst a lot of the award-winning authors, not just these 3, but others, where you hear that something traumatic happened in their lives, and therapy through journaling, it helped them. And now they've been pushed by God to write a book, which is helping other people. And that is very inspirational, motivational. I'm sure for a lot of other people out here. Lisa, I told you at the Gary International Film Festival, I read your book. And look, I'm tearing up now.
Yeah.
It was such a warm, I've lost my grandmother, and I too was in the hospital with my 102-year-old grandmother. It was only for a month until her passing, and only going home to take a shower. But reading your book, it was just like, being with her again, some of the different little antics that she did. It was like, okay, I think I told Gina, sitting in a lazy boy chair by a fire with some hot cocoa in your pajamas, and just warmth and love. And I just want to encourage other people out there who think they can't write a book, who might be going through something like, Lisa said, and Andre made comments. These were just little notes that they were writing, and look at them now. They're award-winning authors.
Man,
and Natalie, how Natalie, all of them had to be pushed. They're hearing God, and they're going to try to wrestle with God. Really? Really, y'all?
And I was going to say to Greg, my grandmother would say, "Gregory, don't tell nobody what you're not going to do, because when God decides that's what he's got for you."
That's true.
But you know what, though, Lisa? Like I said, I stay in my lane. Okay, I know what I'm called to do.
Me too. This wasn't it.
I know, Lisa. I do know.
That's what your mouth say, anyway.
But see, here's the thing with my friend Lisa. Okay, she's not afraid to do anything. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm afraid. I'm just saying I know where my strengths are at. Lisa has a lot of strengths. Andre has a lot of strengths. Natalie has a lot of strengths, and I just try to stay in my lane so that I could be most impactful to the audience that I have. You know.
You know, a lot of people say that, and I would have said the same thing. I've stayed in my lane, but that's the thing. Sometimes something happens in your life where there's a lane. It's kind of like the Red Sea. When they got to the Red Sea and there was no way to go, all of a sudden it opened.
Yeah.
God has a way of making a lane when He wants to divert your attention. He'll just close off one door and open another, and you'll say, "Well, that ain't my lane." He goes, "I ain't asked you that. I told you to go."
Well, hey, look, I'm
walk,
open
baby,
for
walk.
ghostwriters.
You just go.
I'm open for ghostwriters. I've been saying this for years. When they said, "Greg, you need to tell your story," yeah, I'm open for ghostwriters. I, you know, Jenny, you have something you want to say?
Yes, absolutely. You know what, listening to each and every one of your story, Andre, Natalie, Lisa, I hear the same common theme, that you guys were afraid to step out of your comfort zone. You were afraid to step out of your comfort zone. I remember when Natalie first came on the show and she talked about how afraid she was. She didn't know how to push her book out there. She didn't know how to get in front of people. All of that has changed. Andre called me every day before he even submitted his book. He called me every day on the phone. I'm in the grocery store and he's on the phone talking about how he's going to get that book to me, and he never did. But he finally, after probably 2 or 3 months, he finally did put that book in the mail and send it. But you know what? That was just a matter of him stepping out of his comfort zone. And that's what you guys did. A lot of people don't have that courage. They don't have the courage to step out of that comfort zone. It's always, what if it's not, my book isn't successful? What if people don't like it? But you guys stepped over that and pushed your books out there anyway. Hey, I'm going to take this chance. Let's see. And that's what I admire about all of the D.A.G authors, the fact that they had that courage, and those books are out there helping other people.
Yes, most definitely out there. Marcel, you want to say something else?
Yeah, it was really kind of to you. Our mantra: no excuses.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
You know,
You're the biggest one. You're the biggest one with that. No excuses.
If I could add too, that for me, it wasn't even a courage thing. I didn't see the logic in it. It wasn't a courage thing. It wasn't like, and Greg says that a lot of people say, they'll say, "Lisa, you ain't afraid of nothing. You just go after stuff." I do. I just tend to go after things, but I didn't think about it in any logical, like this is a courageous move or not a courageous move. I just thought, these my therapy notes. Who gives a crap? I'm just trying to make sure I live to see the sun come up tomorrow without taking my own life. That's all it was for. But the fact that, again, you know, I hate to keep going to church, and that guy can take something so passe, so minor, so not unimportant to me, and make it so big for other people, and just use it. It's amazing. So I don't know.
And you never know. And to you guys' point, and maybe I shouldn't have used the word that I use as far, you know, being afraid or anything like that. I'm not afraid, okay? Because, you know, if I was afraid, we wouldn't even be on this platform right now. If I was afraid, I wouldn't have done the things that I've done. My thing is that, you know, some things that you're very, very good at, all right? And there's some things that other people are even better than you at. I like to listen and to observe, all right? That's what I like to, and learn from that. And you guys have taught me a lot, okay? So my drive can be different now that I've done this Distinguished Authors Guild. Maybe it might be time for me to do something. Okay, step out of my comfort zone, so to speak. Okay, because my comfort zone is television. I love television. I've been doing it for 30-some years. I'm pretty damn good at it too. But you know, but yeah, that's the thing. So we're talking to award-winning authors, all right, here on the show today. Fantastic people. I'd like to get some insight as to where you guys are going next. What's next for you, Andre? Now that you won this Distinguished Authors Guild, how do you stay on that high? How do you roll it from here?
Well, actually, my goal for 2023 is to write a children's book, also to create bookmarks. To build from that, my goal was to be a speaker. Just travel. I would like to travel and become a speaker. Just share my experiences.
Can help you with that. I'm quite sure Lisa can help you with that too. Lisa, I'm a girl. Anyway, what about you, Natalie?
Well, I have just sent book number 6 to the editor. Ooh. So in 2023, I will be having my 6th romance novel out. Ooh. And ultimately, I would like to do a master class for indie authors that are out there, because I did this all by myself, all the research, all the legwork, all the marketing. I've done it all on my own. And I would have loved to have had a network to work with. So I'd like to set something up like that for new indie authors eventually, where I can help them.
Okay, very good. Okay. You're also the only one that I know. Well, not the only one that I know, but you're the only one on this panel without glasses. Lisa, what about you?
He's so crazy. So in the immediate,
they're actually upstairs.
Nah.
In the immediate future, as it relates to the book, you guys are familiar with the artist PQ Brown.
Yes, sir.
So PQ and I just struck a deal. We have an activities and coloring book that is coming out.
That's what's up.
That will go along with the Just Keep Living. Just Keep Living Part 2 will come out. I need to sell more copies of Part 1, folks. People keep asking me. And then the audio book will be coming out too. So we're looking at spring for that, May-ish for those projects to launch. Also, we're looking, the book was submitted for the NAACP Image Award.
Yes.
So we should know that very soon. And that will be in Black History Month in LA. So keep some timber going up on that. And then as far as, I'm concerned, my passion when I left corporate America with the whole change management process, one of the things I had always done was coach young folks who kind of have put barriers up in their ways, and not believed in themselves. And so my practice, it's called Fearless Coaching. I'm hoping to garner more speaking engagements, etc. And the book is a platform for me to spring that from. So that's what I'm in pursuit of now, speaking engagements.
And I'm so proud of each and every one of you guys. Donalyn Biggs from the Donalyn Biggs Radio Network says, stars, all of you guys, okay? You guys, you need to go. Donalyn, can they come on your show one time too and talk about their journeys, talk about their books, okay? These are award-winning authors. Right? Okay? Marcella, take us in there.
Let's take a little break and redirect, regroup, refocus with life coaching.
Oops.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another 1-minute thought. Now, for today's 1-minute thought, I want you to think about this here. Do not allow someone's confidence to intimidate you. Now, a lot of times we tend to be intimidated by confidence because guess what? We are not in the same type of field or have the same type of abilities or knowledge that this particular person has. So what I challenge you to do today is go out and gain some new information. Figure out your strengths and your weaknesses and notice the things that you can actually bring to the table with certain situations and ideas and little things that you want to accomplish in life. Well, I'm not going to say little things because guess what? We all have some big ideas, some big dreams, and some big goals. So go ahead and use your own knowledge and instinct so you can build up your own confidence to achieve them. Life Coach Jeff coming to you. Remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. Dope Living TV Live. Peace out.
All right.
That is the Life Coach Jeff Rutherford. He has a podcast on Mondays. Check it out, all right? It's everywhere, and he's also got an ebook. So he didn't submit it to the Distinct Author Guild, so he's not an award-winning author.
Not yet, anyway.
He just got a book out. That's all. He just But hey, when we're talking to winners, award-winning authors from the Distinguished Authors Guild out in Las Vegas. Man, it was an awesome event. Like I said, there was a lot of love in the room, and these three individuals, they showed us themselves. They showed us who they are, and they showed us exactly what it means to be an award-winning author, to go through something, get to something. Okay, we appreciate you guys coming to the show, hanging out with us. Right? Definitely. Did anybody else have any questions?
Get the book. Tell us where they can get your book. Nat, where can they get your books?
You can get my book at natsbooks.net. That's my website. Go on and click my love link button, and it will take you on your journey for romance.
Whoa.
Right.
She called it the love link button. And it's going to take you to the room.
That's right.
You'll end up in the Sybaris.
What about you, Undra?
So you can go to Andre's Creation, UNDRASCREATION.com, andrescreation.com. You can also check out my Facebook page, my YouTube page, and get my book, Find Out Your Purpose.
That's right. Get the book. You know, I came up to Andre at the award show, and he had his pops with him. All right. His pops look 13 years old, man. That dude looks really young.
Don't tell him that.
Because I made a mistake. I was like, "Oh, you got your brother with you, huh?" He said, "No."
But they had the same face. Oh my gosh. My daughter and I were talking about, I'm like, they have the same face.
Yeah, they say we twins. Everybody say that.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Then I was like, man, my face on the floor because that's his pops. Wow. Yeah. Pops are good. Lisa, what about you?
Well, you can get it through your preferred vendor. If you just Google Lisa Bennett-Just Keep Living, you'll find it on all the major retailers, outlets, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, Baker and Taylor, Walmart, Target. It's in all of those places. But if you go directly to my website, justkeeplivingthebook.com, you will get it faster directly from my distributor than you will from the rest of those guys.
Absolutely. Let me ask you guys real quick. Have you guys ever thought about turning your books into movies?
I actually thought about it. And the Naked Eye, particularly the Realm Revealed, because it talks about a lot of spiritual, natural, how can I say, supernatural experiences that I've seen and I experienced. So I think that'd be a good movie, particularly the mountaintop, the bleeding walls, particularly the bleeding walls.
Wow. Particularly the bleeding walls.
Yeah,
I hope you didn't see bleeding walls.
Yeah, because I was living at, I'm not going to get an address, but at 81st in Maryland. And this is a true story. True story. I came home.
Wait.
And I was actually, the wall was already red. And I'm thinking, as it was just dripping down with blood, and I'm like, now how am I going to explain this to my wife? So I started wiping the walls off. And as I was wiping the walls off, everything went back in reverse. And I was done. I was done. In reverse. I was done.
Did you move away from there?
Right.
That whole
Yes,
no, Maurice. He was the only black individual that said, I just want to see if this is going to really correct itself.
I'd have left skid marks, Jack. It would be like,
look, that's one of them when one of us started running and everybody started running behind kind of thing.
Movie over.
Right.
Exactly, Marcelo.
If you call it short.
But hold up. The only proof that I had was the bucket of water that was red. That's the only proof that I had. Other than that, my wife wouldn't have believed me.
Look.
Mm.
You know how we say
I would have
we
moved.
gone
You've
we
been all
gone
by yourself.
And they
we
left
gone.
everything in the house.
Exit
Mhm.
stage left.
I'm with you.
Exit stage left. Quick.
Yes.
Man. What about you, Natalie? You ever thought about making your book a movie?
I have thought of the movie. I've actually reached out to someone to put it in screenplay format. She was busy at the time, so we have not reconnected at this point. But yeah, it's definitely something that's on my mind.
Let's get it, Lisa.
I never thought about movie. I mean, I didn't even think about audiobook until folks started asking me. So, you know, I mean,
We
it
asking you
would
now. We
definitely be a
asking you now about the
comedy.
movie.
It would be entertaining to see a 96-year-old woman doing all the craziness my grandmother did. So, yeah. I mean, hey, let me put it like this. Again, path of least resistance. If God opened the door, I'm walking through.
I think all of the movie efforts would be very beneficial. It's just an extension. I think people would really come to it. People would really feel even more of what you guys have to offer. And just like they did tonight on the show. Again, we appreciate you guys coming on the show. Before we get out of here, man, we go around the horn. If y'all don't know how we do it, you're gonna learn today. We go around the horn. Everybody gives, except for me, but everybody gives their final thought, the something that the people can go on, some kind of inspiration. Lisa, we're gonna start with you.
Listen, just go for it. I love that Nike has that slogan, just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about your job is to, like the genie, when you have the magic lamp, your wish is my command. Your job is to just tell God what you want. Don't worry about how he gets you there. Just be open to the vehicle and just go for it.
Absolutely. Andre.
I would say dare to dream. Believe in yourself. Regardless of what somebody say about you, if it's something that's in you that you want to do, for example, if you know you're a good athlete, if you know you're a good mathematician, do it. Believe in yourself, regardless. Go against the odds.
Absolutely. Natalie?
Mine is pretty much piggybacking on what they said. Whatever it is to get out there and do it. Don't let naysayers stop you. Don't let fear stop you, because on the other side of fear is your victory.
Amen.
Amen. Marcella.
Ditto with all three of them. They said, and pretty much pursue your dreams, take that first step, keep moving.
Bobby.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Andre, y'all wait too long to move. Whenever you saw that on the wall, way too long. You know what it should have been? It should have been this. Pew. It should have been go. It should have been a puff of smoke. Lisa and Linda, y'all. Oh, Linda, I'm gonna tell you, you just don't know. When I saw that show, me and my wife were sitting there. I said, "Oh no, it's Sunday morning. We finna have church, right?" Yeah, it was. It was a blessing. And at least I hadn't had a chance to read your book or anything yet, but from what I understand, you wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't an award winner.
Thank you.
Gina.
Man, I am so proud of you guys. Pat yourself on the back. You guys have some wonderful books. And you know what? I just got to say, it was a very tough decision. I mean, the readers reached out to me several times and asked, can we nominate 2 books in this category? It was very close. I mean, but one of the things that you guys did was captivate the audience and keep them there. That's one of the criteria of the books to be award winning. Does it captivate the audience and keep them there? I had every reader that said I could not put the book down. And that's exactly what we want. Those books that when you pick it up, you don't want to put it down. And each one of you have that book. So keep writing, keep pushing. You guys got it.
Absolutely. You know what? I've learned a lot tonight. The guys have admonished me, so to speak. This live your dream. You can't block your blessings. All right. All of these authors have stepped aside of themselves and went for it. That's what we all have to do. Sometimes we have to just put ourselves aside and keep going forward. That's what God purposes for us to do, and proposes for us to do, I should say. And we can't block what he proposes for us to do, can we? Like Lisa said, I mean, who are we to question God? All right. But live your life, live your life and live your purpose, and make sure that you are not afraid when you do it. That's what I gotta say. All right. This is Dope Living TV Live. We want to thank these wonderful, wonderful award-winning authors for coming on the show. Lisa, we're gonna see you real soon, all right?
Yes, you got it.
Already, okay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow with more Distinguished Author Guild. This is Gina's week, all right? Gina's
This
week.
is their week.
Thank you guys so much.
We will see you guys.
So, Nikki, there's another award behind you, so we're gonna see you tomorrow, right? You had 3 instead of 2, one right behind your head. You had 3 then.
Yeah, she cheating over there, man. That's all right. I'm on my way to Natalie's house right now. I'm gonna snatch one of them, and I'm gonna tell everybody I'm an award-winning author. Okay?
Oh no, sir! No,
I
sir!
share.
No,
I have
you don't want to try it.
I have to share this before we leave.
Go ahead.
I bought one of Natalie's books.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody took the book and would not give it back because they said it was such a good book. They did not want to return it. So I have to get me another copy because mine got snatched.
Well, who did that?
I wonder who did that.
I got you. Come on, buddy.
They brought GI to the Vegas script. They brought GI to the script. What's wrong with them? Hey, this is Dope Living TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow, all right?
All right.
Peace out.
Okay.